Energy. It's all around us.
come into Pecatu Hall and take your place. Sit down.
We would also like to welcome to the Minister of Research and Technology, Mr. Muhammad Nasir.
And welcome to the Vice Governor of Bali, Mr. Iketut Sudikerta. Welcome to the Director of the Institute of Technology Bandung, Mr. Kadersah Suyardi.
And also have the Advisory Board, Mr. Purnomo Yusgantoro. Student Energy Executive Director, Kaylee Taylor. Lots of fans. And of course, Chair of International Student Energy Summit 2015, Hilman Syahri Fatoni.
A nice and warm applause. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a welcoming dance for the Vice President, Suti Puja Dance. a big applause for all the dancers. Thank you. And everyone, welcome to the 2015 International Student Energy Summit.
What an energy in this room. I can't believe that there is more than 670 delegates from 100 countries. Can we give it a big applause for us? I would also like to welcome to the advisors, speakers, and sponsors. Welcome to Bali. Welcome to Indonesia. Thank you for coming here. Such passion. And tonight, both of us gonna be with you through all the opening ceremony of the International Student Energy Summit. I'm Nitya Anissa.
And I'm Kupar Finanda, and we will be your MCs for the rest of the event until Saturday. And for those of you tweeting along, you can find us at hashtag ISES2015. And we do hope, both of us do hope that you enjoy the dance. This is one of traditional dance from Bali.
There will be
Studi
more.
Puja dance.
There will be more. There will be plenty of a bit of Indonesian culture to give to all of you, all the delegates who come to Bali for the International Student Energy Summit. Amazing.
Yes.
So I think energy itself, Teguh, it's a very complex matter. So for all the delegates to come here, to have such passion, to find a solution for all of us, to connecting the unconnected.
This
It's
is our theme for the International Student Energy Summit that held in Indonesia, Nusa Dua, Bali, Indonesia. And
And
Nitya,
hopefully, yes, through this summit, there will be some fresh idea to solutions, of course.
that's the target. And one thing for sure, this is the first ISES event that held in Asia and in the developing world. But the International Student Energy Summit also has a proud legacy. And the next video will tell you a little bit more about that.
Energy. It's all around us. It's in the air, the water, the sun. But we all know it's not that simple. 1.3 billion people still live without electricity. Many of our current energy sources emit unsustainable levels of carbon. And global energy demand is expected to double by 2035. And that's why you are here, representing over 100 of the world's nations. This is the largest of all the summits. You are the students who are ready for this. You are the brightest young talent on the planet. You will lead the world to a sustainable energy future. You are part of the movement. And now, you have arrived on the island of the gods.
Of course, you're ready. So, one of the unique things about International Student Energy Summit is that it's planned for students and by students. So, I would like to welcome Hilman Sharifatori to the stage. Hilman is a senior geography student
completely-
at Technology Bandung. He attended ISIS 2013 in Norway as the Indonesian representative and also the chair of the 2015 International Student Energy Summit and has been the heart and soul of planning every step of the way. Please, Hilman.
Your Excellency,
Mr. Yusuf Kala, the Vice President of Republic of Indonesia, Your Excellency, Mr. Muhammad Nasir, Minister of Research and Higher Education of Republic of Indonesia, distinguished guests, speakers, and dear fellow students. I've waited this for a long time, and finally, prouder than ever, I can finally say, welcome to the International Student Ethics Summit 2015. It was really hard to believe the journey I've been through since 2 years ago. Basically, 2 years ago, I was an 18-year-old boy who went to Norway from Indonesia to attend the International Student Summit in 2013 in Trondheim. And it turned out I was pretty much impressed by the scale of the event and also by the number of people and the diversity of people who actually attended there. And most importantly, I was even more and more amazed by the fact that all of this are planned and driven by youth, the people of my age. So that is the coolest thing that I know in my life. And totally, that was a defining moment for me that I realized that I know that I want to be a part of this movement, that I want to be a part of a global conversation that is impactful, and means a lot to people, and that aims to be grand. So probably ISIS, for some of us, ISIS starts days, months, or years ago. Thanks to 60 student team and 75 volunteers, amazing advisory board members, and all of the people who have worked so hard to make this possible. None of this would happen without their support and dedication. Thank you very much for that. And now it's so surreal that I'm standing here in front of hundreds of young people from more than 100 countries who are passionate, who are dedicated, who are determined to make change. So it's just so amazing. And as the summit begins at the very first time in Asia, and especially in the developing world, I would like to tell a bit story of why do we come up with connecting the unconnected theme. So it was indeed a deliberate decision. You know, we believe that the connection in energy world today is not just about helping to give people life or basic access to energy. It's all about connecting the unconnected ideas or perspectives. It's all about bringing different perspectives into one space. And it's all about connecting divergent worlds and generations. So the global demand for a sustainable future has come to stay. And we, as the younger generations, will be the ones who are responsible to meet these challenges. Because we live in a very exciting times. Right now, right here. We have unique opportunity. We have unique possibility. The world is changing, and our actions as the younger generations will determine in which direction it will change. We are extremely lucky to be here, and I personally encourage you to enjoy and to keep open-minded throughout the summit, discuss, learn, laugh, and share your stories and ideas. After all, it's all about making the friendship, meeting with new people, learn from each other, and making that connection. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hilman. You and your team are truly remarkable. Thank you for your hard work.
Yes, thank you. And next thing is, I would like to welcome Kelly Taylor to the stage. Kelly is the co-founder and the executive director of Student Energy, a global non-for-profit dedicated to creating the next generation of energy leaders. Ms. Taylor, please.
Hello and welcome to Your Excellency, the Vice President of Indonesia, and to all our distinguished guests, speakers, sponsors, and delegates. Woo. It is such an honor to be here with all of you tonight to kick off what is going to be a truly amazing event, and I think will be the best International Student Energy Summit ever. You made it! I can't believe that I can look at this audience and say, there are students from over 100 countries in this room. I get choked up when I think about it, because when we planned the first event in 2009, we had students from 30 countries in the audience, and I never thought it would get bigger than that. So it is truly, truly a dream come true to look out and see such a diverse group representing so many corners of the planet and so many different energy challenges. All I can say is that I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for making the journey to be here and be a part of this. This event is truly about you. It's about your voice, your talent, and your potential. When I started planning the first International Summit in 2009, I was 20 years old, and I was just starting to think about what career path I might want to take and what kind of impact I wanted to have in the world. I had no idea how important this summit and the people I met at it would be in shaping that journey. That's why I love the summit so much. It's a congregation of young minds who are passionate and interested about a common goal. It's not that typical conference where you fly to a new city, you sit in a room, you listen to a few people talk, you take maybe a few new things and a few business cards. This is something that we shape together. And your presence here is what makes it. Every element of this summit was built with you in mind, and more importantly, it was built by your peers. This event is for students by students. People often ask me why we decide to target university students. Why not young professionals? They're already in the industry. Why not high school students? They're more impressionable. And I want to tell you that our decision to focus on post-secondary students was a very deliberate one. You are in your age of academic enlightenment. You are shaping your worldviews and determining what's important to you. You are making choices that will shape your career and your entire life. And this summit will give you the chance to explore, grow, learn, and challenge. Become the critical thinkers and optimists that our world needs to solve these incredibly pressing challenges that are facing us. I always say that it doesn't take too long to do the math and realize that when we set 2030 or 2050 targets, it isn't the people setting them who will be in charge of meeting them. It's up to us. It is our generation. And I am so proud to be part of a generation who's up for the challenge, as proven by this room. Student Energy was formed to support each of you. It was formed to build young leaders who want to transition the world to a sustainable energy future. And it was built to give you a voice and a home. Every program that we've built was built with you in mind and was built using your feedback. We are a movement, and you are all part of it. Of course, while I have the floor, I did want to talk about a couple things that we're doing to support you. Last month, we launched studentenergy.org, our energy education tool that's meant to help people learn about the energy system in a simple and engaging way. We believe you can't change something that you don't understand, and therefore education is the first part of that. Studentenergy.org is our way of tackling it. We also have all sorts of forums for you to get engaged, an online blog where you can submit your thoughts on the future of energy topics, and our monthly radio show, Energy Voice, that's bringing long-form journalism back to energy. We want to create the debate. We believe that disparate views and disagreement bring innovation, and we want to bring that to the energy system. And of course, our events are our cornerstone. Last year, we ran the first ever regional summits, 4 events on 4 continents on the same day, and of course, International Student Energy Summit is our pride and joy. That's all I'm going to say about student energy right now. However, there are number of student energy staff and volunteers, if you guys could all just give a wave in the audience, who will be around the entire conference. So if you have any questions about what we're doing or how you can get involved, please come find us. And of course, I'm gonna be here the whole time, and it is my goal to meet as many of you as possible, so please don't be shy. Before I close tonight, I do want to take a minute to recognize, well, first of all, Indonesian hospitality. How unbelievable is it? It is so great. And I'd like to also recognize the planning committee from ITB. Yes. This group of about 59 students has worked tirelessly over the last 18 months to build this event and make it possible for you to be here. But not only have they planned the logistics and raised money and got the speakers, they have put their hearts and souls into making you feel welcome and making you feel at home. And I cannot tell you what a lovely, they are such a lovely, amazing group of people, and I feel so privileged to have got to work with them. So if you see them around here, please give them a pat on the back and thank them for their hard work. They are really the reason you are here. And finally, to close off, I just want to encourage each of you to take as much of this experience in as possible. Whether it's the knowledge you're getting in the sessions or the friendships you're making in the hallways, I believe that this event will change you in some way. Together, we are stronger than we could ever be apart. I hope you feel that unity as we progress through this summit, and you feel that movement in the next 3 days. If each of you leaves knowing that you can indeed change the world, I'll know that we've done our job. Thanks, guys.
Carl Taylor, the Executive Director of Student Energy, thank you for your remarks.
And next, I would like to invite Vice Governor of Bali, and then would like Mr. Iketut Sudikerta to come up to the stage. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Vice President of Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Yusuf Kalla. Before we speech, the welcome speech of our governor, we would like to say apologies to our governor because he cannot join it, all of you tonight. He's still in outside of country of Indonesia to check his health in Singapore. So we say apologies again. We hope you understand that all. The welcome speech of Bali Governor on the opening ceremony of International Student Energy Summit, 10 June 2015, at Bali Nusa Dua Convention Center. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Yusuf Kalla. His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Maldives, and also His Excellency, the Menteri Research Technology and Pendidikan Tinggi, Bapak M. Nasir, Ketua Dewan Pengarah ISIS, Bapak Purnomo Yus Giantoro, and also His Excellency, former Secretary General of United Nations, Mrs. Balun Hesher, Director Executive of Student Energy, Ms. Kelly Taylor, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Om Swastiastu. On behalf of the government and Bali people, I would like to welcome you all to Bali, a small province island that exists among other island in the Indonesian archipelago. On this special opportunity, I would like to extend my sense appreciation that Bali has been chosen as the venue of this program. My appreciation also goes to the organizing committee for their works to organize this international event, International Student Energy Summit here in Bali. It does help to promote Bali as an island that is not just suitable for the leisure activities, but certainly also meeting purpose. The economy of Bali is driven by tourism that is heavy based on our culture. The root of Bali daily life, so that we are not just harvesting income by doing tourism activities. We are preserving also our great and long existent culture. A similar principle should be implemented to use of energy as an important aspect of the economic development. Since the global warming issues has emerged, experts becomes more aware to the use of natural energy and advise to replace mostly by the renewable ones, a much more eco-friendly energy. Development is not just about result. It is also about process and how we manage the process wisely to protect and care our environments. And I think an international event such this forum will give precious opportunity to all young genius in sharing and learning each other experience. And I hope during this program, all participants will make good networking that given benefit to all economy members. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as a fact, Bali has been popular in the world community as the international tourist destination. This tropical island has got many unique conditions and treasures its own. It reflects to the names of Bali, the island of paradise, the island of gods, the island of thousand temples, and the island of peace and democracy, and the last one in the island of loves. This is according to the film of Julia Roberts, since our pretty woman to make a film in Ubud, Bali, especially in my village where we were born in Uluwatu. She can have adventurous experience with the taste in Italy to try find peace for her soul in India, but she has not stopped yet until finally she arrives in Bali and find her true loves. I invite the young people who are planning a wedding to celebrate your wedding here in Bali. That's why I invite you that all, because our income is supported by the tourism income, that we need the tourists come to Bali very much. Distinguished delegates and ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to remind you to spare some of your busy schedule to explore the beauty of Bali. Please notice the plural of beauty, not just one. It is comes with Bali. The beautiful landscape, both on land and sea, and an incomparable culture that can be seen through the art, painting, sculpture, traditional dance, hospitality, of the people, and I'm sure it's not difficult for you to find friendly smiler surround of you. Ladies and gentlemen, before you finish your meeting here, we all also suggest all delegation that who have a meeting in Sudan Energy Summit International. During you finish to have conference or meeting in here, again we place you to visit a tourist destination in Bali. That means if you are not visit, you never been to Bali. And during your visit the tourist destination, we also suggest all of you, don't forget you spend the pocket that you have in there, with the dollars, yens, and so on. Because we need it to increase because we need it to increase our economic that in a tourist destination. In this case also we suggest our Vice President, because we need to develop more the development in Bali. So we need lots of money. And don't forget to bring the development infrastructure in Bali, our Vice President. Yeah, because we need it. Like before that our Vice President do, during the first renovation of the international airport in Bandar Ngurah Rai, that support by our Vice President in the first to be the Vice President with Bapak SBY at that time. Now we still need more infrastructure in Bali to develop our economic for the future. Finally, I wish you all fruitful meeting and have a nice stay in Bali. Thank you. Om Santi 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 Om. The Governor of Bali, Made Mangku Pastika. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your warm speech, Mr. Ike Tusudkerta, as the Vice Governor of Bali.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hear from our guest of honor, His Excellency, Vice President of Indonesia, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf Kalla, who will provide a speech and also open the summit. Mr. Vice President, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Pak Menteri, Rektor dan Wakil Gubernur, Hilman, Taylor, and Mrs. Taylor, and all guests, especially all of you who students come here to Bali. As a Vice Governor say, beside your conference, enjoy Bali. Because if north is winter, is summer now in north, in south winter, in Bali between summer and winters. It is good weather, very good weather in June in Bali, and that's why I enjoy beside your discussion and the conference. I asked Hilman before a meeting here, what your objective meeting in this conference? And some say awareness. What awareness? awareness of the futures of you. I mean, the question is usually, if you're meeting here, if you're talking about energy, of course, what energy in the futures, what impact, what price, what availability. That's why I appreciate you, ISIS. Of course, not ISIS, yeah? Of course, not ISIS, you ISIS. It's between ISIS and ISIS is very, especially if Indonesian say it, ISIS, okay. But if you are talking about energy, of course, let's see first history of energy. Before, in ancient time, energy in natures, wind, water, human, animals. These are our energy at time. Then, after Industrial Revolution, starting coal, after coal, the fuel, gas, LNGs, nuclear. After that, and then, after oil shock, and we are very scared in oil shock. When oil, the price of oil from $2 per barrels and increasing around 10 times. And many people, all countries thinking about how to solve this. And we solve with technology, efficiency of oil. This is solution of you, younger nations. How the solution for next futures, how technology, how you that thinking about that. But after oil shock and after Air Summit in Rio, we are very concerned about environment. And then we are thinking about how the futures, about availability of energies, the price, the impact of environment, and then back again to thinking the nature's powers. What is a green energy, renewable energy? This means we are thinking now the classic one of energy, again, when before coals, back again to the nature thinking again about wind, sun, hydro, biogas, biofuel, and others. Wave, tide, all things natures. Is meaning energy back to nature. This is very important for you, for your generations. Because we need renewable, green. And we save the world, we save the planet about that. This is your futures. This is what you want to do that. It is history of energy in our planet. Natures, fossil, and then nature again. But of course, now on, with 15 billion people in the planet, 6 billion in the planet, not easy to find the natures besides technology. This is why you come here, to think in togetherness, how to solve this, how to sustainability of energy in the world and in your country. Many countries in the world have success of that, to natures, to make the renewable energies. Maybe your country here, Iceland 100% with geothermals, Norway around 98% with hydro, even Brazil around 80% with hydro. Many countries have success, but average only 22-25% hydro in the world. I mean renewable energy. In Indonesia now, only 12% we are using renewable energy. We're still using fossil, coals, oil, and even gas. This is one thing we should think in the futures, thinking your era, thinking your life, and the other thing. Let's compare how we can make efficiency. There are so many problems in the world with energy. If you're talking about fuel, gas, we're talking about politics, geopolitics. Why there are so many conflicts in the world, in the Middle East? Usually with ideology, economy, especially energies, and politics. That's why well, gas, cheap but problems. You were talking about coal. There are very efficient way, very cheap, but the dirtiest one, the dirtiest energies compared with the others. Look at many countries in the world like China or even Indonesia, because in our energy here we're using 50% of coal. One thing that we should be reduced in percentage. That's why we're talking about how to increase in the factors of natures with technology. Many countries have different resources. In renewable energy, Indonesia have a rich with hydropower, potentials, and geothermals. But what problem is investment. If you invest before in fossil oil based mixed energy, is mean diesel. The cost of investment around 500,000 per megawatt. But if we're using coal fire, we need double of that. But if we're using renewable energy, like geothermal, hydro, is double from coal. It's been 4 times compared with diesel. This is one thing, but in the operational cost, it differs. Renewables, very low cost. Coal is middle, but fuel cost is more expensive. This is deal. This is comparisons in energies and resources. Not all countries have enough resources, like Indonesia, of course, and many countries again. That's why Japan's, they use gas and nuclear. Like you country in German by stopping now, in French, or in Korea, they're still using nuclear. But nuclear saying NIMBY, not in my backyard. Everybody needs energy, even using nuclear, but not in my region. Okay, you can make it in another region, but by using it, not in my backyard. Like in Bali, maybe they like nuclear, okay, but you make it the power generation in Lombok, not in Bali, like that. This is problems on nuclear. And as for Indonesia, the problem because we are ring of fire. Ring of fire, many earthquakes, many disasters in Indonesia. That's why not so popular, not so easy today. That's why I think the possibility is how, and it's mean the target is how energy making good life more eco-friendly, but more cheaper, better, and faster. This is one thing I think, of course, you are job here. Now you're students, but within 2-3 years, you will be in a research center, in the laboratory, or even in the practice, or engineer, or one thing. This is your challenge to do better than us here in senior. That's why I think it's good for you to discuss and learn each other's and compare with your country. Maybe experience your country can talk to the student from Indonesia or in many countries how the source of energy in your country. Because different style of the countries and different situations. In many countries, like in Europe, America, of course, electricity, maybe 100% of the people have connected. But Indonesia is right, connected than connected, should be. And many countries, developing countries or emerging countries, like Africa and many. In Africa, maybe only 50% connected. So many potential to connecting, to be connected. Indonesia connected only 80%. There's still 20% of household not yet connected in electricity. It's meaning their potential in investment, their potential for working, their potential for any investment, any progress of power generations in the countries. That's why this is one thing, the challenge and possibilities, and of course, can be made in this. Let's talk about the futures. The future of energy is, as I told before, consisting in renewable, and there are still, of course, like gas or coal, but very limited, places. For Indonesia, our policy is coal is still the majority of power plant, but we are now preferring in Myanmar, not near the city. We don't want, like China, that now they make it more better, but before it was making the climate change in China or many countries. But Indonesia, as I said before, coal is much cheaper than the others. Just for comparison, you know it because you are come here to compare or to thinking about. The cost of the coal fires around 6 cents per kilowatt. Meantime, the cost of hydro around 9, the cost of geothermal around 10, but the cost of fossil fuel, it is around 30 cents per hour. It's triple compared with renewable energies. I think that's why we should be we are very serious to replace any who not eco-friendly, very cheap. That's why our target is much better, cheaper, and faster in any infrastructures what we will do. What our chance for the futures? How combine the technology and nature. What viability is too much. Sun and wind. Solar energy. Now solar energy, after 10 years, they're reducing price for 40 cents to around 16 cents now on. Only 40% after 10 years in technology. Before using photonic, now many technology like thin film, even by paint, with micro paint, and can be reducing the cost of solar energy. Not only how to improve the battery, it's been needed more technology and research in the battery to store the energy, because we are different size. In many countries, the peak needed in the daytime, but in Indonesia, the peak is nighttime. That's why we actually combine sun, wind, and hydro to make it the stability of any energy in the world. What very important is what easy to use in the sun. We are happy in Indonesia that solar energy when using are 70%. Maybe in Northern Europe, you can only using 30 to 40%, but in Indonesia we can use 70% because we are in the equator. It's good to do. It's different with many countries in the planet. That's why if research, I think in our university or research center should focus on that, how to make efficiency in these energies. Besides that, when too, but efficiency is only 40% because there are still rain in the other thing. This is needed combinations. Nature again, what your futures? Nature with technology. How to combine that? How you make it advance of that? How making you more 3 questions? Better, cheaper, and faster. This is your role for your futures. This is the role of anybody in the research, in the company, and in corporations, because you need it for your futures. I think the futures, first, not enough anymore for you, because if populations increasingly and all may come to urban, we need more double energy within 25 years from now. That's why we need limitless of energy in its natures, back to nature's technology. This is renewable energy. What you need, what you should explore, what you should discuss with you. Because this is the nature's gift to us, togetherness. But beside that, we need to take care of environment. We should take care of the forest, green, and the others. Because if you're talking about hydroelectric, geothermal, we need forest. We need water. Water is 6 from sea, cloud, rain, back to the river, back again. This is cyclist we should take, we should prepare. And we need forest. This is combination of all. I think, again, congratulations and hope you are very fruitful conference. I know I told the Pak Purnomo and President or Rector of TBA, this very luxurious conference for students. But you enjoy that. This is Indonesia. we are very honor the guest. You are the guest of your friend here, and the honor of you to enjoy Bali. But this is because why we need to experience each others. That's why many professors come to see here to discuss, maybe to arrange with you, and we hope you are successful. Thank you very much, and we open this discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your remarks, and please kindly stay at the stage to open the summit.
We also like to invite the Minister of Research and Technology, Mr. Muhammad Nasir, to the stage, and also the Vice Governor, Mr. I. Ketut Surikarta, and also Mr. Kadar Sasuryadi as Director of the Institute of Technology, Bandung. Advisory Board, Mr. Purnomo Yusdiantoro, and also would like to invite Student Energy Executive Director, Kaylee Taylor, and Chair of International Student Energy Summit 2015, Hilman Sharif Fatoi. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. International Student and Energy Summit 2015 is officially open by the Vice President. Thank you very much. We would like to stay on the stage to photograph session.
And by the hit of the gong, it is officially open for the International Student Energy Summit 2015. And ladies and gentlemen, SES is known for bringing the world's leaders together to talk to the future generation. And tonight we are honored to give you a taste of what you will experience over the next 3 days with a speech from Sri Mulyani, Managing Director of World Bank. And without further ado, we would like to invite Ms. Sri Mulyani to step up to the stage and give a speech.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me, especially here in Indonesia, and especially with very pleasant to be here in Bali. Really thank you to have the opportunity to see all the students coming from all over the world. Bapak Wakil Presiden yang terhormat, Bapak-Bapak Menteri, Bapak Wakil Gubernur, Pak Purnomo, kawan saya, dulu di kabinet, sekarang sudah tidak di kabinet, dan seluruh kawan-kawan yang lain. All distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the most important is the student. Thank you very much for inviting me here. This is the reason for me to be here in Indonesia. It is definitely inspiring for me to speak to you all. You are all on the verge of making critical choices, personal and professional. So let me use my speech today to give you an advice. Well, this is a privilege of my generation, who graduated around 30 years ago. People like Sri Mulyani can tell young people like you how best to direct your effort. It's really a privilege to be in that position. I guess many of you, and especially Kelly, gave an opening speech. You may ask yourself, where will I live? Will I have a partner? Maybe children? Where do I work? And for which organization? Whatever your answer are going to be, don't underestimate the power you have. When you make a choice, not just in your private life, you have the option to give back, to promote change, to make a difference by striving for technical expertise, and also by using a strong moral compass. It is really difficult for me to think of a more important field than the one that you will work, because you are going to be the expert who can help bring about access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. In fact, you can help us at the World Bank Group to achieve our goals of ending poverty by 2030 and ensuring the prosperity is shared across all society. Because we won't be able to achieve those goals if we don't bring more electricity to more people in a sustainable way. So tonight, I would like to focus on 3 questions that I hope will help frame your summit here. First, why is energy access so important in the fight against poverty? And second, why do we have to provide access to energy in a sustainable way? And the third question, finally, how we can overcome the challenges. So why is access so important? The energy sector has a very high potential for reducing poverty. The world population now around 7 billion. 1 in 7, which is around 1.1 billion people, don't have access to electricity. And almost 3 billion still cook with polluting fuels like kerosene, wood, charcoal, and dung. So the Vice President is right, you actually have the luxury to have this kind of summit in such a very luxury place. Just remember 1.1 billion people, during this night like this, they don't have any access to power. They live in the dark. And you know very well, without electricity, children cannot do homework at night. So every day, every night, when you can enjoy this electricity, please remember 1.1 billion does not yet have the luxury to enjoy that. People cannot run competitive business without electricity, and country definitely cannot power their economies. In Africa, which I frequently visited, the electricity challenge can be daunting. Take, for example, Ethiopia, which I visited 2 months ago, with a population of 91 million people, of which about 68 million people are living in the dark. Or Liberia and Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, the very rich natural resources. This is the country in West Africa. In Liberia, only 2% of their population has regular access to electricity. In DRC, it's only 3% of their population have the access of electricity. But even for a country with access of electricity, often have highly unreliable services. 1 in 3 developing countries experience at least 20 hours of power outage a month. I know here in Indonesia, I have a sister live in Medan, and she always complained that there is a lot of outage there. Even when power is available, it can also be expensive Vice President explaining quite a lot the comparison of all those prices. And I give you, again, continent like Sub-Saharan Africa. They face electricity costs as high as 25 to 50 cents US dollar per kilowatt hour. This is against the global average price, which is 10 cents per kilowatt hours. And for the economy, inclusive economic growth is the single most effective means of reducing poverty and boosting prosperity. But inclusive economic growth cannot be achieved without access of electricity, without adequate, reliable, and competitively priced modern energy. So we find that energy poverty means two things. Poor people are at least likely to have access to power, and they are more likely to remain poor if they stay unconnected. So I like the theme today that you are saying connecting the unconnected. But you are connecting among all of you, which is already well off. Just think about those people who are still very poor, and they really need to be connected. So this is why access to energy is very critical in fighting against poverty. So my second point is sustainability. Energy and the way we use it needs to be efficient, sustainable, and whenever possible, renewable. And this is good news. According to the latest data, more poor people in the world are gaining access to electricity at a faster speed than ever before. But maybe slightly less good news is that the share of renewable energy is not growing at the same speed. And we are lagging behind in improving energy efficiency. Consider this. The International Energy Association says that in high-income countries, energy efficiency is now the largest source of energy. So you can imagine, energy efficiency is the largest source of energy, because energy saved is energy that can be used elsewhere. This means we can cut the link between the economic growth and energy demand just by improving energy efficiency. I think I remember Purnama when he was Minister of Energy and Mining, he always said that when the economy in Indonesia grew by 7%, the demand for the electricity is double. Maybe we can reduce a little bit this doubling if we are going to have a much more efficiency in energy use. I gave you an example of China. Over the past 20 years, many countries in the world have made enormous strides in reducing energy intensity, and China is one of them. China is the giant in actually improving the energy efficiency. China saves as much as energy it consumed between 1990 and 2010. So they can save energy exactly the same like they consume. That is very impressive. When you consider that, the China economy is still about twice as energy intensive as Japan. So you can see that even with that impressive achievement, there's definitely still room for improvement. And if we fully applied all the energy efficiency technology that are already available today, we could cut energy consumption by about a third. That's really a huge portion. And if we are going to combine energy efficiency technology and a smart building design, it is already possible to actually produce buildings that are zero net energy users. And in many cases, they are even generating solar energy that is going into the grid for others to use. Of course, beyond energy efficiency, we also need to see countries shifting from fossil fuel to renewable form of energy. And the good news, this is already happening. With rapid technology progress, which is bringing down the cost of renewable energy for everyone, we are now seeing a massive new investment in well-known type of renewable, which Vice President mentioned a lot of them, hydropower, as well as the cutting-edge technology like geothermal, solar, and wind. The drop in the unit cost of solar photovoltaic alone to around 1/3 of what the cost in the year of 2010. Actually, it's very rapid, has helped put the solar energy on a cost-competitive basis with traditional form of energy in increasing number of places. And between 2010 and 2012, we saw 4% increase in the uptake of modern renewable energy globally, and 3/4 of which were supplied by wind, solar, and hydropower. And East Asia, here, this region, led the world in this regard, representing 42% of new renewable energy generation. And since 2010, more than half of new power generation capacity built around the world has been renewable. But with that impressive progress, the developing world has barely scratched the surface of what's possible in terms of renewable energy generation. Again, I will give you the example Africa and South Asia, because this is the two most regions which the concentration of poverty is there. 10 to 20% of hydropower potential has been harnessed, and solar potential is only just beginning to be fully understood. So what is the challenge to achieve this access and to have the sustainability? To change the status quo of actually addiction to this fossil fuel, we have to address political, economic, and technical challenges. Many countries in the world subsidize their fossil fuel. This is the way to reduce costs for consumer, of course, but this is, and also encourage economic growth. But that kind of policy, which is untargeted, is actually benefiting more the wealthy. And definitely distorted price that will undermine energy conservation effort. In 2013, 550 billion US dollar of public money is actually spent worldwide on this direct fossil fuel subsidy. So we can imagine if that subsidy will be invested for any other alternative energy, then we are going to have huge impact on the way the world is going to provide and generate energy. I know in this country, Indonesia, the government last January took the decisive step of implementing new fuel price system, which dramatically reduced gasoline and diesel subsidy costs. This is a policy move in the right direction and allow the government to use the money for the other development priority. I'll give you another challenge of how we are going to create more sustainable energy. That is, renewable energy are capital intensive, and this capital can be difficult to raise, especially in a risky environment. Many of the developing countries have been perceived as risky environment. Many countries have adopted policy incentives to overcome these barriers. I give you two examples, that is Brazil and India, which is having success with renewable energy auction. Some countries also finding that small-scale solar power can dramatically accelerate energy access. Low-cost solar home systems have helped countries like Bangladesh and Mongolia to bring energy to low-income households who would otherwise be living in the dark. In Bangladesh now has the largest national off-grid electrification program. In 2003, they started with 11,000. Now it already covered 85,000 households. And there is also a technical hurdles. For large-scale grid-connected renewable energy, the key challenge is intermittency. Solar energy is only generated during the day, and wind energy varies in intensity with different weather patterns. And this makes it hard to integrate into the grid. A country like Denmark and Ireland, these issues are being overcome through sophisticated system of transmission line, micro weather forecasting, and advanced grid management system. So the big breakthrough are coming now in the form of energy storage. The new battery storage technology, if you are all following Tesla and the owner who's now actually investing on this, the battery, I think in the next couple of years, not even decade, it will change the concept of energy in the household. We are all excited that kind of innovation. So what is the World Bank role? Because you invite me here as the World Bank, I hope that you still remember that I work in World Bank. We at the World Bank Group, we take the issue of sustainable energy for all very seriously. We know that getting there will entail tripping historic capital flow to access and clean energy projects. Our energy lending, especially to low and middle income countries, is also focused on this goal. Last year, I oversee the whole operation of the bank. 2/3 of our lending went to countries in South Asia and Sub-Saharan countries. Sub-Saharan African countries where the majority of people without energy access live. And over 90% of our power generation lending goes to clean form of energy. The World Bank focuses on natural gas, hydropower, solar, wind, and geothermal. In fact, I just visited last month in DRC to see the IGA tree. If you read the Economist, the New Economist, you will see that the hydropower there is huge potential. But that is the most challenging environment to develop this big hydropower. The World Bank do not lend for new coal power generation, except in a very, very, very rare circumstances, when the country have no other alternative energy. We also play an important role in working with countries to ensure a strong enabling environment is in place that encourages greater investment, especially in renewable form of energy. Sometimes this has something to do with the policy of the government. So your Ketua Dewan Pengarah knows very well about that. That you cannot develop renewable energy as long as the sectoral policy is still distorted. As much as you are going to have so many summit conferences inviting investors, they are not going to come as long as you are continue distorting the policy. And sometimes we discuss all over the world to make sure that country can learn how a country can really develop renewable energy. I think Iceland is one of the inspiration in terms of geothermal. We can learn, and usually the World Bank can provide this kind of learning experience across policymakers all over the world. We also work very hard sometimes to support the government to reform the power company. Because as much as the government have a good intention, when the power company becoming part of the problem, it is almost impossible to actually develop a good energy policy. We are hopeful that among the new sustainable development goal, that now this year we are going to change from MDG to become SDG, Sustainable Development Goal from the Millennium Development Goals. in which the global community will agree this year, energy poverty will receive special attention. That's why the World Bank President co-chairing the Sustainable Energy for All initiative with the United Nations Secretary General. Jointly, we focus on 3 goals: ensuring universal access to modern energy services, doubling the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix, and doubling the rate of improvement in energy efficiency. All of you here, students, will see in your lifetime the negative impact of pollution and climate change. I think people like Pak Yusuf Kalla, myself, Pak Purnomo, maybe we are now suffering a little bit pollution, but I think you are going to be the one who's going to suffer most, and especially if you are going to decide to have a partner and having a children. But as a student, and especially you are becoming energy experts of tomorrow, you definitely can play a role in delivering the new energy sustainable development goal. The world will need smart people like you all with the right motivation. And with your help, with your dedicated work, we can see the end to energy poverty in our lifetime. Don't forget that you are in the driver's seat. So let's make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sri Mulyani, for your remarks.
And we apologize for the mistake that we made after the Vice President opened the ceremony, because I would like everyone to stand up now. As the Vice President, His Excellencies, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf Kalla would leave the Pecatur Hall.
Thank you, Vice President, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf Kalla, for your attention, for your presence here in International Student Energy Summit.
It's completely surreal.
May all be seated again. Thank you. So how is it? All of the speech, all of the inspirational speech from the Vice President, and then Ms. Sri Mulyani as the Managing Director of World Bank.
Such an inspirational speech, I
agree.
suppose, and we're getting closer to the end of the ceremony tonight, and I hope you still have the energy until we have our very last surprise to all of you.
Yes, this is the fun part, this is the one of the exciting part, because we plan to make a wow with some traditional Indonesian entertainment that we call the Nusantara dance.
It's completely surreal to be in a room with this many amazing young people and to see how far we've come. The thing about young people is that we have so much more power than we actually think. Students from 100 countries is just so beyond our expectations. When we start the summit, it really was just something for us to do to give ourselves a voice. And it began because of a problem in the energy system. That problem was that youth weren't taken seriously. We ran the first event in Calgary in June 2009. 35 countries, and to be honest, we weren't even sure we could do it. But it happened, it was amazing, and it really sparked something in young people. And then we took it to Vancouver, and I joked we were trying to prove that it wasn't a fluke, that we could do it another time. And when that event took off, that's when we realized we were really onto something. It's about us. It's about our generation. It's something that we've created together, and it shows that we're completely capable of shaping what we want in our future.
We try to bridge the gaps between, polarizing issues that happen in and developing world as well as developed world in terms of energy and environmental issues. So the important message that we try to address through this conference is that, this is the youth event, basically. So we know that as the youth, we are powerful enough to create change. And then the strongest message also comes from the theme itself, connecting the unconnected, trying to understand, trying to make sure that everyone understand about the real issue that happens on the ground in terms of energy and environmental world. We definitely understand that it is very, very hard to know the connection between these issues, and I think that SES can really give a comprehensive perspective and trying to connect them to one picture. So I think the biggest hope for this whole thing is that the youth who actually participate in the summit can go back to their home, to their country, and do something and create that change that everyone wants, that everyone in this world wants.
Today, we are pleased to welcome you at one of the most beautiful islands in Indonesia. Combining the beauty of nature and culture with innovative technology such as utilizing bamboo to produce energy, Bali is the perfect place for us to create such a powerful impact for the energy in the future. SES 2015 will be a comprehensive summit and the big global student movement energy. The biggest thing of all, this movement is initiated by youth, and there will be no youth without you. After a long selection process of thousands of registrants, you are the chosen one. You are the backbone of the massive movement. Be brave, because now you hold the responsibility to be the change maker of your country. The world needs your action. Welcome to the magnificent island of Indonesia, Bali. The island of gods with breathtaking scenery, mesmerizing wonders of culture and heritage, and the island where the future of our energy world starts. Have the best of your time in SES 2015. You are the movement.
Well, that was literally not the
Yes.
Nusantara dance. That
That was
the
not
dance.
obviously Nusantara dance, but I agree with Kelly Taylor that it's all about you, the young generation, to build up our future, especially about the energy. Big applause for
Exactly.
all of us.
We also like to thank you for all the advisors, to the speakers, to the sponsors, so that this International Student Energy Summit 2015 will be held
Yes.
here in Bali. And of course, the delegates, thank you for sharing the same passion tonight.
Thank you for the founding partners, Ado Energy Tbk, BD Chevron, Medco Energy, PT Pertamina Persero, Star Energy, Supreme Energy, Total ENP Indonesia, and then the associate partners, Asia Pulp and Paper, Bank Mandiri, OPEC Fund for International Development or OFID, Sumber Suryadaya Prima, Yayasan Kesetiakawanan dan Kepedulian Sosial Jakarta.
We also would like to thank you to global airline partner Garuda Indonesia and the supporting partners BizNet, Clean Power Indonesia, Siemens, and also domestic airline partner CityLink.
And the next one is, this is the real thing, because we were going to see the most what, Niti?
The
The
most
exciting dance
unbelievable-
from all over Indonesia.
You should see.
This is what we call the Nusantara dance.
Once again,
Big applause.
biggest applause.
Once again, obviously, we would like to say to all of you delegates, welcome to Bali, Indonesia. And that was Nusantara Dance, Taman, and then
Taman, the first
Pakarena,
one.
and then Tari Berburu, and the last one is
Well, the last one, there was two last one actually.
Tari Bantek from
Tari
Betawi or
Bantek from
Jakarta.
Betawi, and that's Pakarena
Yes.
from Sulawesi. And then they've been preparing all the dance for almost 2 months, and nearly 100 dancers.
And only for all of you guys, delegates from all over the world on the International Student Energy Summit 2015. And once again, we would like to say thank you for the founding partners, Adaro Energy Tbk, BB, Chevron, Medco Energy, PT Pramina Persero, Star Energy, Supreme Energy, Total EP Indonesia.
And also our associate partners, Asia Pulp and Paper, Bank Mandiri, OPEC Fund for International Development, Sumber Surya Daya Prima, Yayasan Kesetiakawanan dan Kepedulian Sosial Jakarta, and also our global airline partner, Garuda Indonesia, and supporting partners, BizNet, Clean Power Indonesia, Siemens, and domestic airline partner, Citylink.
A little bit more, a few important housekeeping items before we leave Nitya. We have shuttles are waiting outside of the convention center, for all of you, the delegates. And then make sure that the breakfast is served around 6. And then you will provide the shuttle service for the convention center begins at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, and of course you must be on shuttle, but 8:15 a.m. or you will be left behind, so make sure you'll be on time. And make sure you have both your name tag and password with you all the time. And all session information, the maps and other important details can be found in the program guide, or just ask one of the committee.
And then one thing for sure, you do need a lot of energy because a lot of agenda will be held for tomorrow to the next 3 days.
It will be fun. I'm sure there will be no boring session, like Kyla said. So we hope that by the end of the summit, you will not only connect to the other people here from other countries, but also have a solution for our energy issues then.
So, thank you for tonight. I'm Teguh Parvanda.
I'm Nitya Anissa. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good evening.